Once a year, I host a conference called the Vol Conference for business owners, executives around the world that come. 2 years ago, we had Tom Brady at the event. Last year, we had The Rock at the event. Nearly 6,000 people showed up. This year, we're doing it at the Gaylord Orlando. We're expecting 12,000 people to be at the event. And executives, private equity, hedge fund, salespeople, sales executives. And this last year, a friend I've known since I was 23 years ago, Manny Soto, says, Pat, what vitamins do you take? Are you on TRT? Are you on this? Are you on that? Are you on this? I said, I'm not on TRT. I was on TRT 5 years ago for 6 weeks, but I had a breakout and my body was so hot on that I couldn't go to sleep. I'm like, I can't do this because I'm already hot. To add that, it even elevated. So 6 weeks, I said, I'm out. I'm not touching this. These are the vitamins I take.
Okay.
I want to show it to you.
Yeah.
And I try to take these every day. I don't get to them every day, but the goal is to take these. Tell me what you think about the vitamins I'm taking and say, I don't think you need this. This is a waste of time. This is good that you're taking this.
So I'm going to look at this, but I would also have to see the food that you're eating in a day, right? Because food is primary for me.
So I'll tell you what I do. So in the morning, breakfast, I only eat breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays. Every day I start off with a protein drink that I take.
What's the protein drink?
Can you pull up the protein drink I take, Rob?
I hope there's no natural flavors in there, Pat.
At this point of the game, I know what's going to. By the time I'm done with you, I can't eat anything at all, period. That's not it, Rob. Protein shake. Is that the milk? Type in whoever is back there. Kelly, if you have one of the protein drinks, no, you don't have them.
I'm going to send you the protein from Lineage. So this company, we also make a protein powder.
Okay.
And I made it so that I would drink.
I drink Core Powder.
It's super clean. So let's find it.
Go to Core Powder protein.
And then we're going to compare, if we can, and we'll get to your vitamins, we're going to compare the ingredients in your protein to like the Lineage protein that I'm going to send you. This is what you drink?
Yes.
Oh, Pat, all right.
Is that what I drink? What are you guys laughing at in the back? Bring the drink.
I
can
got
hear
one.
These guys. Look at these guys. You're entertaining them. I'm just going to make it easier for you right here. Oh, my goodness. We're doing this, Rob. We are doing this.
Okay. So first ingredient, filtered low-fat grade A milk. We can talk about it. I think milk fat is very beneficial for humans, and you want whole milk if you're drinking milk, preferably. Preferably you want a raw milk or an A2 milk. We'll get to all that. There's a lactase enzyme in here, which is for people that are lactose intolerant. I have no problem with that. Sea salt, we're doing great. But then, Pat, we get to ACE-K, which is asulfame potassium. And they wrote it out as asulfame potassium.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say ACE-K. So that's an artificial sweetener in here. And we go back to the artificial sweetener little bit that I mentioned earlier. We really don't know that these are safe for humans. They definitely affect your gut flora, and they're potentially affecting neurometabolically how your body responds to insulin and how your body manages calories. So I think that you need to not have any artificial sweeteners in your diet, and there's one in your chocolate protein drink. The next ingredient is very interesting. It's carrageenan. And this is a problem for humans. So carrageenan, there's recently been some articles talking about carrageenan. It's a sulfated polysaccharide derived from algae, but the problem is that in the processing of carrageenan, there are breakdown products of carrageenan that look to be quite harmful for the human gut. So I don't think carrageenan should be in any of our foods. It's a form of a thickener. It's used to make this thicker, so it feels like a milkshake. But carrageenan is quite potentially damaging your gut. Yeah. Next ingredient is monk fruit juice concentrate. Look, in terms of sweeteners, that's probably the most benign, but I still have some issues with monk fruit sweetener. Maltodextrin is essentially a form of sugar. You have cellulose gum, which is also probably not great for your gut. Stevia leaf extract, I'm not a fan of. Even stevia, I think, is not great for humans, but we can talk about why. Sucralose is another artificial sweetener. And then you have vitamin A palmitate, which is sort of a food form of vitamin A. I would rather you just get vitamin A from egg yolks or other forms of vitamin A. And then you have D3, and that's it. So we have the biggest offenders in here are the artificial sweeteners, so ACE-K and sucralose, the gums, so cellulose gum, and carrageenan. So the reason you drink this, presumably, is to get protein. So I think protein shakes are great for people on the go. You can make this much cleaner. And the other thing to consider, and again, I don't want people to say that I'm just making this impossible. It's in plastic, right? So how long has it been sitting on the shelf? Microplastics. So you're suggesting
only buy protein drinks in glass.
They probably don't make any of them.
Don't make it. It's going to break. Paul's not making things easier right now. So, okay, so I start off with this. Then lunch, my chef brings me my meal. and it'll typically be chicken, fish, protein, soup, and obviously you need to know whether it's processed. By the way, about 2 years ago, we cleaned house of the closet. We got rid of not the closet, what do you call it? The pantry. We got rid of 100% of cereal. Our kids don't eat any cereal.
Amazing.
Literally, we came and said, what do we need to get rid of? And I was shell-shocked how many things we had to get rid of, right? But still, we're Middle Eastern. I am. Not everything is gone. But for the most part, the food I eat at lunch is good. Then at night, I go back. He cooks again. I have the meal with him. And then we're done. So that's what I'm eating throughout the day.
What is he cooking? What oils does he cook in?
We have to. You want me to call Jen real quick? I'm going to call him right now.
Oh, boy.
Let's just call him right now.
Let's do it.
Let's call him right now. Hang on one second.
Because I love that you're eating. If lunch and dinner, Pat, are basically protein and vegetables, we're great. As long as he's not cooking in a seed oil.
Well, let's ask him right now. And by the way, for those watching, Paul is on Connect. You can Connect him and ask him any questions you have on Connect. All right, so let's see this here, if he picks up. Alper, you're on the podcast. They can hear you. And just say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, Alper, question for you. What kind of oil do you use when you cook meals? What oil do you use?
Normally, I use avocado oil.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think about that, Paul?
Avocado oil is not a seed oil. So it's better than seed oils. We can talk about potential problems with avocado.
Okay, what other questions you have for him?
I would be curious to see the actual avocado oil he's using, but what I would recommend he cook in for you, so the ideal would be an animal fat.
Animal fat.
A tallow.
Which is like a butter.
A butter or a ghee or a tallow.
Clarified butter.
Better than avocado oil.
Okay, so what else would you say? Because he'll make different types of meals, soup, rice, but we don't do a lot of rice because we've cut a lot of the rice. Alper, maybe tell him a breakdown of what some of the meals may look like.
Sure, lunch is normally goes absolutely soup. Which I just want to provide some liquid, and absolutely salad, with some heavy greens, with tomatoes, and the main meal is just protein, carb, and just vegetables.
What
Definitely.
Questions you have for him?
Yeah.
It sounds pretty good off the top of my head. I mean, if it sounds like he's making the food from single ingredient foods, which is great.
Alper, what did we change the last 2 years? From the moment we hired you to now, what did we change dramatically with our food?
Sugar, definitely.
Can you be more specific? What part?
In dessert, so
right.
I'm not using any kind of added sugar, so if we just get sugar, we get sugar from onion, so but that sugar is just essential of sugar.
I love it.
So
good.
Other than that, we
Okay. Alper, thank you. By the way, Alper's also on Connect, just so you guys know you can ask him a question as well. Alper, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to call now my wife, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I want her to tell you what things we cut from and by the way, she followed you way before I followed you. She's a big fan of yours. For years, she's been following you.
Thank you.
She says, babe, do you know this guy named Paul? I like what he talks about. I'm like, babe, who is Paul? And I'm like, oh, Paul. She's in the office, but she's probably in a meeting, so she'll call me. Okay, so when she's out, she'll call me. So that's the meal, right? Then on the weekend, I'll make omelet for myself and the kids and the family. And I'll make that omelet, Saturdays and Sundays. But I don't drink. If I do, I'll have an old-fashioned once a month. And I'll talk to you about cigars and all that other stuff here in a minute. But specifically to what I'm breaking down with you right now, that's what I'm going through right now, what I eat.
Not bad.
Okay.
I mean, I think pretty good. So you're focusing on single ingredient foods, meat, plants, right? And you're not eating a lot of this stuff, and you're not eating, I think that the first thing I would do is replace the thing you're doing in the morning. So
the protein drink.
That protein shake needs to get better. And you can have a protein drink in the morning, but we're going to make it for you differently with a better protein powder with simple ingredients.
See, to me, it's like make and go. So I can have Alper make it
absolutely
the night before, so I just have it and take off.
Right. Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the Lineage protein? I just want to show you the ingredients in our protein versus that one. Again, people can buy whatever protein they want, but I think this is the standard and why I'm so proud of it.
Which one is it?
One of those below should be the ingredients, and we'll pull it up.
Is that it?
That one, yeah. So this is what's in our protein, right? So 100% grass-fed beef protein, organic maple syrup powder, grass-fed beef organs, which is liver, heart, kidney, spleen, pancreas, organic date powder, coconut water powder, grass-fed colostrum, which is beneficial for the gut, fruit and berry blend, which is blackberries, black currants, grapes, pomegranates, blueberry, cranberry, raspberry, etc., and sea salt. So what's not here? Sucralose, ACE-K, carrageenan, no seed oils. There's actually no real artificial sweeteners. There's absolutely no artificial sweeteners. There's no binders. This is what you want in a protein.
How many grams of protein is it?
I think it's 22 or 23.
Per scoop.
You can zoom in there.
20
plus grams.
20 plus grams.
Yep.
Okay. So in the morning, no breakfast outside of this, I'm good with. You're not sitting here saying you should also do this. You should also do this for breakfast.
If a protein shake like this works for you, and that one has 42 grams of protein, so you might do a scoop and a half of ours, right? Or 2 scoops of ours. You want that much protein to go, that's great. And if you really wanted to make it amazing, you could add some raw milk in there, which I think is incredible. There's a great producer here in Florida.
Raw milk.
Yeah, and we can talk about raw milk if you want, but you don't have to do it. Some people are sensitive to lactose and might not want to do that. But you can put the protein powder in juice, you can put it in water, but getting some protein in the morning is great. And I think that upgrading your protein shake would be huge. And again, people don't have to buy this one. I want people to understand the simplicity of ingredients in protein powder. And if your protein powder has ingredients that, again, your ancestors would not recognize, like, be skeptical.
Okay, hang on. Jen is calling me. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, Jen, I'm doing a podcast with Paul Saladino. Do you know Paul?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Babe, what did we do with our pantry 2 years ago when we got rid of a bunch of different things? What things did we get rid of?
We removed all the cereals.
Okay.
Amazing.
All of the stuff that I felt was highly processed. Main thing I was looking for is like stuff that wasn't like real food that the kids were eating every day, which was mostly like the sugary cereals. And the like crackers and cookies. We try to eliminate all that stuff. But the biggest one was cereal and Kraft macaroni and cheese. I got rid of all of that.
I love it.
Used to make. Got rid of all of that. And then just started cooking real breakfast every morning versus having like cold cereals. We tried the raw milk for a little bit. The kids didn't like that. The raw dairy, they're not a fan of. So now I buy organic whole milk, which is the closest thing I can get to that. In years in the past, I didn't really pay attention to organics. Yeah. But I do now.
Paul is suggesting if we have the resources to buy 2 cows for the backyard and teach the kids how to, milk the cows. And I think we have the space for it, babe.
I don't think that we could have a cow in our neighborhood.
What about a goat? Is a goat acceptable?
Okay.
Do you have any questions for Paul with what we have in the fridge and in the pantry, since we have him here?
I do. But are you in the studio?
We're on the studio. It's live. If you want to come here, you can come here. We're over here, babe. But by the way, if you have other questions later on, you can always Connect them, babe. He's on Connect as well.
Okay, so I should just come over.
Come over here. We're over here. We're gonna wrap up in 45 minutes.
Are you recording live, though?
Babe, you're literally gonna be on the podcast, is what I'm saying to you. So say hi to everybody.
Okay, hi everybody.
Everybody says hi.
Okay.
Okay, babe. Bye.
I love it.
Bye.
Hey guys, I am Paul Saladino. You can find me on Connect if you have any questions about diet, health, recovering from chronic illness or autoimmune disease. I'm excited to connect with you guys all there, and I'll see you in there.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.